Hello and welcome to the first on-location episode of Western Entertainment Television. I'm John Carroll.
And I'm Tommy DeYoung.
Connecting you to WMU.
Coming up in this episode, we will recap Bronco Bash, Mind Games Hypnotist Paul Ramsay, and much more. But first, let's take a look at some headlines affecting WMU students.
According to the Western Herald, a shooting occurred outside the Phi Beta Sigma fraternity house during a party at 1:50 a.m. on Sunday. A 20-year-old man was shot in the leg, and a 20-year-old woman suffered a back injury, possibly from a flying piece of glass, according to an article written by the Herald's editor-in-chief, Megan Chandler.
The Western Herald's news editor, Aaron Leroy, reported Monday that the injuries were not life-threatening. In an interview with Leroy, the executive director of university relations at WMU, Cheryl Rowland, said the two people injured were not WMU students. The incident is under investigation by the Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety, and WMU will be issued a copy of the police report. Rowland said, quote, "We're always concerned about anything that might constitute a threat to safety. Phi Beta Sigma is temporarily suspended from the university and may not hold any activities or meetings until further notice. Anyone with information about the incident is asked to contact KDPS at 269-337-8994 or Silent Observer at 269-343-2100.
While enrollment numbers saw an increase in new freshmen, international students, doctoral students, minority students, and out-of-state students, an article published by the university said enrollment is down overall by 1.2%. The article says the total enrollment at WMU for fall 2013 is 24,294 students.
So John, did you have a good time at Bronco Bash?
I did. It was a lot of fun. It's a great event.
Oh, you managed to check out any cool booths?
I saw a few. What did you see?
I hit up the Marine booth and the Army booth. I did 15 pull-ups at the Marine, like a boss, and then I did 10 at the Army. And I got some free t-shirts, some free bags. They also tried to get me to join Marines and Army, but I'm an Air Force ROTC, so that wasn't going to work out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I couldn't be there for long, but thankfully, YBOT's Pasha Ship put together an event recap. It looks like it was a lot of fun.
Bronco Bash is an annual event that takes place on Western Michigan University's campus. President Dunn showed up to Bronco Bash to kick off the event. And what do you know? Even the young broadcasters of tomorrow have their own table at Bronco Bash. Bronco Bash allows for vendors in the community to showcase their goods and services to students on WMU's campus.
The first event like this that we've done to where we've had our own table kind of set up. Usually if we do events, it's making smoothies for the public, but it's a lot smaller. No more than 100 people sometimes, so this is definitely a bigger turnout.
I'm looking for the games, to be completely honest, because those are fun.
The event also features tons of games and fun activities that get students involved and having a good time. Bronco Bash also allows for registered student organizations to showcase what they have to offer to students looking for clubs and activities to join. YBOT caught up with some students attending Bronco Bash to see what they had to say about it.
Look for things like that maybe have to go along with what I want to major in. People that are talking about those kinds of things.
I heard there's going to be a lot of free stuff.
For Western Entertainment Television, I'm Pasha Ship.
The first month for first-year students is almost over, and classes are starting to go into full gear. With all these tests and assignments coming up, I thought that we could all use a little guidance. I asked some upperclassmen if they had any advice for first-year students to excel at these upcoming exams. Hey everybody, this is Tommy, reporting for WeTV. Today, I'll be talking to some upperclassmen about some advice for incoming freshman students on how they can excel here at Western Michigan University.
Just make sure your priorities are in check. Before you go out, you can, do your work and study, and then after that you can be like, okay, I think I deserve a break, and you can go out and have fun. And that way you're still getting what you need to do done, and you're enjoying yourself. And I think that's fine, as long as you know your limit, of course. Just take a lot of notes. Don't just rely on the slides, don't just, listen to what the instructor's saying, but interpret it in your own words. It always helps me. And write everything down. So all of that. And then outside of class, just make sure you review the notes like every day after class. And that always helps me to refresh. Go to office hours of your professors. That's vital. Once you get a personal relationship with your professor and they start to see you more and know that you're invested in the class, then they are going to notice you and they're going to be like, maybe these points off of his grade I'll push up. I'll push them up to an A.
Advice I can give is to make sure you get to know your professor, because having a business-appropriate relationship can be very beneficial. Let's say you're going to be late next week or something like that. You can let them know ahead of time, and it can allow you to get your work in a proper, timely manner so you can get everything turned in correctly. Make sure you definitely actually go to class. I know it can get hard with a lot of time management, actually making sure you get to class. Actually do your homework. Don't put it off to last minute. I know it's kind of hard. I want to hang out with my friends, all this new freedom. Don't fall into the temptation of that. And most definitely, if you don't understand an assignment, ask your professor questions. My freshman year I had to write, it was in technical communications, I had a huge research paper on, and I was really struggling through it, and I'm like, how am I going to end up finishing this and writing it on time? I ended up going to the writing center, and they were a big help. They actually helped me come up with an outline, helped me make sure I had everything sort of set up with that outline, and then came back in after I wrote it and made sure everything was refined properly, all my grammar was correct, and I ended up, passing the class. Join a student organization. I'm currently in the WU Habitat for Humanity campus chapter, and I usually go out on Saturdays and help build in the local Kalamazoo community. There's different things like WSA, which is like your school council back in high school, and then there's just all kinds of other organizations that I've yet to even explore, and I'm going into my senior year here, so there's always something to do on campus.
Well, I hope everybody learned something new today. I'm Tommy DeYoung, reporting for WeTV.
There are a lot of great opportunities for students to take advantage of at the Career and Student Employment Service Center. Last week, they held a practice interview day where employers came in and conducted interviews with students in order to give them feedback. Here's TK Galoni with the recap of the event.
Career and Student Employment Services hosted their annual Practice Interview Day on Friday, September 20th. During Practice Interview Day, students have the opportunity to interview with employers and get feedback on their performance. Olivia Sito represented Total Quality Logistics during Practice Interview Day and said her company hires a lot of college students. Here is the type of applicant she said she is looking for.
We're going to look more for certain traits rather than just sales experience or work experiences. So we really are looking for people who are hardworking, driven, really want to be successful, because people all say that they want to be successful and make money, but it does take that hard work and effort to be able to get to that point. So we are looking for the people that can latch onto that opportunity and put in the work to get there.
Sito said some common mistakes she sees students make during interviews are not explaining their skills, not answering the original question, coming in unprepared, and not reviewing their resume. Ewa Urban, the Assistant Director for Assessment and Technology, said students can avoid most of these mistakes by taking advantage of the services offered by the Career Zone, located on the first floor of Ellsworth Hall, like resume writing, interviewing practice, and a focus assessment that helps students find areas of interest. She said they offer help to students in all stages of their education.
It's important that students know not to wait to connect with us, with career and student employment services until they are seniors or until they are ready to graduate. They need to really come in early and connect with us, even as freshmen. So being connected at every stage of their college careers and integrating it as part of the preparation, their academic preparation, that's probably the key thing that we want all students to know about.
Nicole French, a graduate assistant for Career and Student Employment Services, said many students have been taking advantage of the Career Zone. Here are some of the common mistakes she can help you fix.
A lot of people are saying I, and they are saying this is the most common thing in an objective that is incorrect would be speaking about how this opportunity is going to help me, is going to better me, when a lot of employers, they want you to help them. So it's definitely the wording. It's more selling yourself versus saying what you can do for me as an employer. That wouldn't really be a resume, but it tends to feel natural when you write it, and I think that's why it's a common mistake. But I is a big one, and then not having action verbs in your phrases. And if you don't know what an action verb is, come to the Career Zone noon to 5, Monday through Friday.
Eric LaForge participated in Practice Interview Day and said he received a lot of helpful feedback from his interviewer.
A lot of great interview skills. Like, I learned a lot about my resume. I learned a lot about what interviewers are looking for. I learned, just all sorts of different tactics about finding jobs.
The next Career and Student Employment Services event will be the Engineering Expo at the Parkview campus from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Thursday.
To the excitement of hundreds of students, the Campus Activities Board brought hypnotist Paul Ramsay back to WMU last Thursday night. Up next is Pasha Ship with coverage of the event.
WMU's Campus Activities Board invited hypnotist Paul Ramsay to come by WMU and show us his mind games. That's the name of his act. The line wrapped around the hallway for the event, and cab members said that they had far more people than they expected. YBOT caught up with some students before the performance and asked them what they expected about it.
I'm nervous. I've never been to an actual hypnotism thing before, but I've heard that it does work, that they weed you out and stuff, so I'm nervous. I hope they don't weed me out. I hope I'm not one of the people that's easily influenced, because I'm not about that life.
I feel like it's going to be a crazy hypnotist. I feel like we're going to have another Nicki Minaj, probably another Jason Derulo. Somebody's going to jump off a cliff. I'm going to dye my hair. I don't know. I came to one last winter, and it was pretty hilarious. I enjoyed it. It was just a good show.
Alright, and I've only seen one hypnotist, and it was crazy. I saw a mermaid fight last time, so I don't know what to expect, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be awesome.
Students sat with nervous and anxious expressions in the audience while Paul Ramsay hypnotized students on stage. The experience was interactive, and students were allowed to vote for what they wanted to see the hypnotized individuals do. There was even a moment where Paul hypnotized the boys on stage to think that they were the members of One Direction and perform a personal concert. There were antics and laughter all around as these students had a rip-snortin' good time. For Western Entertainment Television, I'm Pasha Ship.
Don't forget that CAB sponsors Miller Movies, where once a month you can catch a film for $1 with a Bronco ID in Miller Auditorium. The next Miller movie is this Thursday. Monsters University will show at 9 p.m.
Hey John, you into longboarding?
Yeah, I love longboarding. It's really fun to hit the pavement with my longboard. It's pretty great.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I had quite a few falls here and there around the school. My worst was like fall welcome week. I was boarding down a bunch of ambassadors, students, and then I fell. But hey, everybody was on that Curtis Zimmerman vibe, so everybody was like, woohoo, when I got up and made sure I wasn't okay.
It's a bit of a victory.
Yeah. Here's some longboarding tips for students to avoid what I did.
Hey everybody, this is Tommy, reporting for WeTV. Today I'm going to be covering longboarding and hearing some advice from other students on some important safety tips to do while boarding here at Western Michigan University. Let's get started, shall we?
wear all sorts of pads and a helmet, because if you wipe out, if you want something that's going to protect you. I've skinned myself quite a few times. The other thing, I would definitely wear shoes that you know are capable of sliding, because that's your best way to stop. There's really two ways that you can stop on a longboard. You can put your foot down in what's called a foot brake, and you start at the toe and slowly rock to your heel, and that'll slow you down. Usually it speeds under 20 miles an hour. Any higher than that, you really should be slide checking, which is where you actually knock the board into a full slide and slide on the wheels. It's a lot harder and a lot more dangerous. There are standing slides, which are used for speed checks by people who can do them. Usually it's a 180 thing. You just kick the board a little bit and you try and balance yourself. And then there's also hand slides where you bend your knees and you grip the bottom of the board and put your hand back and kick the board into the slide as well, but kind of lean your hand back and use that to balance yourself. It's much safer, but you need special gloves that have big plastic pucks on them. The area from the flagpoles basically all the way down in front of Henry is a pretty nice little incline that's not too steep, and you can get some speed, but you're not too terrified if you go any further than that, because it'll go all the way down West Michigan, which you don't want to do that. But there's an area where it levels out and you can foot brake. I usually, if I want to carve, I'll go on a road. But if I'm just kicking to class, I want to be on the sidewalk, and I want to, because it helps you keep your speed in check if there's people around. If you're just going to play around, just practice and stuff, definitely find like a subdivision or something, because you can get a lot wider road, which is good for sliding, carving, all that kind of stuff.
Unfortunately, yeah, I fell a while back. The Sacrum parking lot, there was a rock in front of my wheel, and as soon as I hit it, I lunged forward and slammed against my shoulder and my hip, actually. I got a cut too, still there. Pace yourself. Don't go don't do a steep hill on your first run. Kind of stop yourself if you're going too fast, and just be cautious of how fast you're going, and that you can hurt yourself worse if you're going faster. Yeah, YouTube has a lot of different resources or videos to help you. I would suggest people use it. It's just a fun thing. It's good, especially when you're going a nice speed, a nice pace, and once you get the feel of it, it's unlike any other thing.
All right, everybody. Well, I hope everybody learned something about being safe and boarding on campus. I'm Tommy DeYoung, reporting for WeTV. Back to you.
This past weekend was the Already Dead Family Reunion, a music festival celebrating local and worldwide independent music. The festival, in its third year, was arranged by Already Dead Tapes and Records founder Sean Hartman.
Already Dead Tapes and Records is a label that I started with my friend Josh Tabia. The Already Dead Family Reunion is an extension of kind of the ethics that we try to put into the label. When picking bands that we work with, we kind of want to work with people that we are friends with or can be friends with, people that we get along with, people that we respect and their motivations for making their art and things like that.
The festival was a hit among the audience and performers alike.
It's a really great experience to see some really weird music from all over the world.
Everyone seems to be pretty comfortable with each other, and meeting new people seems pretty easy.
It's really special to me and a lot of people that are here that we can get together and make music in a basement and then be able to showcase it for people that actually care.
But yeah, bands from all over the world, bands from all different genres, just people working hard to create interesting music.
A lot of WMU students have been talking about the new Apple software update and the iPhone 5S and 5C that were released on September 20th. Here's what some students had to say about iOS 7 and the new iPhones in this episode's People on the Street.
Well, I like that for the new iPhone 5S and C, you can touch the home screen with your fingerprint and that's how it opens. Yeah. Instead of, so random people can take your phone and try and use it. Right. They have to have your fingerprint.
It's more personal.
I haven't updated my phone, so I have no idea. But I heard that it was supposed to be really girly looking and kind of cool, but less professional looking. So I don't know. I'm excited to see.
Personally, I don't have an iPhone. I do have an iPod Touch, but the iPhone seems like pretty awesome, I suppose. Lots of people have them. At times I feel that people are too constantly on them too much and not really living in the moment, and they just get attached to their phone, but it definitely has a lot of good qualities, I think.
I love it. Really, it's a new change. We needed something more on the iPhone, so I was just like, yeah, I can like it a lot. Some features are like the Android, but not all of them. So I think iPhone still has their own, you know it's iPhone. You don't think it's Android.
I think, there's a lot of advantages to being able to have technology at your fingertips, but there's also a lot of distraction with it. It tends to kind of distract from people making eye contact during conversation, understanding the importance of being outside of technology. I mean, real world experience plus technology can be good, but too much of one or the other can kind of shelter you from how society functions.
Sunday was the first day of fall. With temperatures already dropping into the 50s, it's time to pull out those sweaters, Broncos. Up next is YBOT's entertainment reporter, Pasha Ship, with your guide to fall fashion.
With fall comes fashion, and I've got some tips for you. Combat boots are a great accessory. They're functional and they're warm, and let's just face it, they're a big fashion trend right now. Oversized sweaters? Who could do without them? They're cozy and they go great with leggings or tights. And if you want to make a fashion statement, wear an oversized sweater, a belt around the waist, tights, and heels, and you have a classy look. And what have I been talking about? Tights! They go great with just about anything, especially under shorts. And with bold prints and colors, you can really make a fashion statement. Scarves are super cozy, and they, like many other things, make a really nice fashion statement. You can wear bright colors or really nice patterns. They're functional and they keep you warm, and that pop of color wouldn't hurt at all. And last but not least, colors. We are surrounded by inspiration with fall. The yellows, the oranges, the reds, and even some greens. So work off of nature and come up with your own creative and fashion-forward outfit. For Western Entertainment Television, I'm Pasha Ship.
So the WMU football team is 0-4 after losing to Iowa this weekend. But the Broncos begin the Mid-American Conference schedule at home against Kent State on Saturday. The game will start at 7 p.m. and will be broadcast on ESPN3 and the Bronco Radio Network.
The WMU women's volleyball team will take on Northern Illinois at the University Arena Thursday at 7 p.m. Make sure to check out ybotconnects.wordpress.com for more information on all upcoming sporting events.
The third annual scholarship benefit for the Western Michigan University School of Music will be held Sunday, September 29th at 3 p.m. in Miller Auditorium. Tickets are $5 for students and general admission is $12. All proceeds will go to the music student scholarships.
A series of town hall meetings will be held in order to address some of the results from study of WMU's diversity climate conducted last year. The first town hall meeting will be held Wednesday, October 2nd at 6 p.m. in room 157 of the Bernhard Center. 3 more meetings will be held Thursday, October 3rd. 2 will be in the East Ballroom of the Bernhard Center at 11:30 a.m. and 1 p.m. And another will be held at 6:30 p.m. in rooms 105 and 107.
The University Theater season is kicking off with the production Glengarry, Glen Ross. The show will be performed in the York Arena Theater and Gilmore Theater Complex at 5 and 8 p.m. September 26th, 27th, and 28th, and will continue October 3rd, 4th, and 5th. A matinee will show on October 6th at 2 p.m. Tickets are $5 for WMU students with a valid ID, and standard tickets are $20.
Art Prize is underway in Grand Rapids, Michigan. This year, the event boasts over $560,000 in prize money. The WMU Grand Rapids campus is hosting work from student artists. Click the link below for more information and make sure to tune in to the next episode of WeTV to see our event recap.
This has been Western Entertainment Television. I'm Tommy DeYoung.
And I'm John Carroll.
Connecting you to WMU.